Now today what I wanted to talk to you about is the ashram. So what is an ashram? So welcome everybody to my first video in my new YouTube channel. So I'm very excited how this goes. My friend Fabian pushed me really into doing this. I was really hesitant. I didn't want to do it, but let's see how it goes. So who am I? My name is Hans and I'm really into yoga. So my background, I'm an engineer, but like 6 years ago I started practicing yoga out of the blue, and since then there was not one day where I didn't practice yoga. What the idea is of this video and of this channel is not to like teach you something or stuff like that. So we hope that there's gonna be a fruitful discussion and we have something to offer to you guys which you can implement and make your lives better. So let's get started. Now today what I wanted to talk to you about is the ashram. So what is an ashram? So you can imagine ashram is like a yoga center which is like a monastery. So there are living monks there. There are also some other residents and everything is geared towards yoga, meditation and inner development. And it's kind of it's a very different life than the life we are used to in the West. Albeit not necessarily worse, which many people can't believe. Because of course, the atmosphere is geared around practicing meditation, yoga, about becoming more conscious. So monks are living there and there's some rules, some restrictions, because otherwise it would be more like a college campus. And many friends asked me when I told them, so I'm gonna spend my vacation 3 weeks in the ashram, they were like, what the heck are you doing? You're working so hard in your engineering job and then you get 3 weeks off and you're spending it under stressful circumstances in an ashram in India. I mean, it's beautiful there, it's lots of nature and everything is nice. The weather is nice, but then again, it's an ashram. So it's a very strict and very focused lifestyle. So it's not really like a wellness vacation. In any way, so why did I do it? I mean, I didn't do it to just torture myself. So actually I've been there already. I've stayed in the ashram before already for like 11 months, something like that. I've been there twice in the past. Once I just went there by myself, and the other time I did like my teacher training, which almost took like a year, half a year, sorry. So why am I doing this? It's not like you have to go to the ashram if you want to like achieve something or make some experience inside of you, or go further on the yoga path. But what's happening? I'm really impatient actually. So yes, I know all the benefits that I can get in the ashram I could also get here. But then I think I want to go to the highway. I want to go as fast as possible. And I want to like take a peek over the wall, what's on the other side of what we normally would perceive in our day-to-day experience of life. There's no need for you to go to the ashram to experience something, to develop yourself. So I just wanted to share, like, from my past experience, 3 little things that you can implement directly to bring the ashram to your own home. So let's begin. First, what really struck me when I went to the ashram was how people are eating there. Like, it's not like people are getting together and talking. Everybody's getting together, sitting down in silence, waiting for the food to be served. And maybe a little background, you only eat twice in the ashram. Once in the morning, 10 o'clock, once in the evening, 7 o'clock. So once you're eating, you're really hungry, you want to eat. But the people just sit down and they don't start eating directly. They wait for everybody else to sit down. Then they look at the food and they really practice consciously gratitude towards the food. So they think, okay, this food is like, it came from, I mean, it's such a big chain. So some farmer had to plant a seed. The seed had to grow. Some seeds survived and became like big plants, a big fruit. Other seeds, they just didn't make it because of heat or weather or whatever. So the plant has to grow, the fruit has to mature. Somebody has to harvest it, bring it to the city, distribute it, bring it to the kitchen, cook it, and then they serve it to you. So it's kind of an act for you to have like this beautiful meal. So we take it for granted, but so many people are hungry. And even if we are maybe not hungry and we are not in deprivation of food, still there's kind of a lack of appreciation. So what everybody was doing when they were eating, they were just taking a moment aside, maybe a few seconds in the beginning, maybe somewhere like closing the eyes for 3 minutes and just like really consciously practicing gratitude towards what's on the plate and really being grateful for existence to nurture them, and not just nurture them, but having a delicious, beautiful meal in front of them. So that's something like it really struck me in the beginning, and it was weird in the beginning a bit for me. But then I really like, after the time, after the days of doing this, I kind of developed like a relationship with the food and really an appreciation. At some point I was really like feeling love and a big sense of gratefulness and devotion for being like nurtured in the best possible way. So it really struck me and it really touched me deeply. So that's something which I'm still doing. So now I'm in the West and I'm eating with colleagues, with friends. So everybody's talking. So this is kind of a different situation. You can keep the awareness in the background and still, even if I'm eating with like 5 friends, even inside of me, I'm still taking 30 seconds apart before eating. The others are starting. I'm just taking like a moment aside, appreciating what's in front of me, and then trying to eat as consciously as I can, even though there's so much stimulation around me. And when I'm eating alone by myself, for example at home, then I'm really like doing it like in the ashram. I'm just practicing devotion towards the food as much as I can. And you will notice the food becomes so much more alive to you. You will taste the food much more intensely. You will notice the texture. You will notice how the food looks and how every kind of food item takes a different structure. So it's kind of amazing. So I really can recommend, try this out. If you like it, keep it. If you don't like it, don't keep it. Anyways. So the second thing goes in a similar direction. So what happened to me, I went into silence for 2 weeks. That means no speaking, no looking at anything. I would just look down in front of me so I wouldn't get distracted. And a kind of intense plan of different yoga and meditation practices. So it was really, it's an incredible experience. It was like probably one of the most incredible things that happened to me my whole life. And anyways, like the night before I went to silence, my teacher came up to me and she said, so Hans, you're going into this intense process now. So what I want you to do outside of your practice regimen, whatever you do, wherever you go, whatever you look at everything as something which is higher than yourself. So whether it's a plant, whether it's an ant in front of you, whether it's a stone, whether it's just the air which you're feeling on your skin, look at it with a sense of devotion. Look at it as something which is much bigger than yourself, because that's what it is. It's like this huge, intelligent existence, and you're not like this separate thing, this individual being, but in reality we're just a part of a gigantic existence. Gigantic in a sense, it's like not only as people, but the whole earth and the whole universe. And we're just like this small little speck inside of this gigantic construct, which is like unexplainable. So she told me, whichever your mind or your eyes fall upon, look at it as something much higher than yourself. And I actually did it. I did my best to like do what she told me. And it was kind of interesting, because in the beginning it was like really a bit weird for me, because it was so different. But after some time, after maybe a few days even, because I was doing it all the time, I was walking around the whole ashram in nature, barefoot, and I was just looking in front of my feet, and was just feeling existence around me. And after a few days, I just felt like such a big sense of love from like everything around me. So it was like the earth was kissing my feet when I was walking. It was like the wind was caressing my skin. It was like the sun was nurturing me, and like everything was like trying to like make my life as beautiful as possible. And like I felt so connected to everything around me. it was a beautiful feeling, like unexplainable. So that's something that you can just, I mean, you don't need to spend separate time and sit on the yoga mat to do this. You can cook your food and just feel the smell. You can walk on the street and feel the air on your skin and just be grateful and appreciative and just get everything in context of how small you are actually and how gigantic everything and how amazing everything around you is. And I'm really noticing, I'm going outside and all of a sudden it's raining and I'm not like, it's raining, but I'm like, oh my God, this like feels so incredible. Like just feeling the raindrops on my skin, on my hair and running down my cheeks. So this is just an amazing process. I recommend everybody to just focus on this. Wherever you walk, whatever your eyes fall upon, look at everything as something bigger than yourself. And for me, life changed dramatically just implementing this one thing. And again, try it maybe out for some time and see if it works for you. If it doesn't, then maybe that's not the best thing for you to do. But I know many people which benefited from it tremendously. And also what I'm noticing, if I do this and then sit down for meditation, my meditation is just so much more intense than it normally is. It's just like I'm undescribable. Anyways, the third thing, which also doesn't take you any time, create that awareness that there is a difference between your body, what you're thinking, what you're having in your life, your friends, your family, your house, your car, your apartment, your job, your name, your everything, and your true inner nature, like this being, whatever that is or may be, which is inside of you and which is difficult to grasp, and like everything around you. And just keep up that awareness. So for example, every morning before I do my yoga practice, I just sit down, close my eyes, and create that awareness one more time. So I'm feeling like, okay, this is my body, but I'm not the body. This is like the thoughts which are running around in my head, but it's just an accumulation of like past experience. So it's not who I really am. And just feeling into the own being. And now many people, they want to get like straight to the core. So they see, okay, I realize I'm not the body, because when I chop my arm off, it's not less me, it's not less Hans. Even without the arms, I'm still Hans. Even when I was 15 years old, so small, I was still Hans. Now I'm this big, I'm still the same person. So there's something beyond this whole shell. What is it? Difficult to say. Now many people want to go directly to the core of the whole thing. And this is kind of like a catch-22, because you're trying to grasp something, you're trying to label something which you don't yet have a full grasp of. Maybe you had a taste in like some states of meditation. Maybe you had a very strong sense of your own being, which like really overwhelmed you, but you didn't get it entirely. So if you're looking for something, you might look in the wrong direction. And actually that's something which happened to me really, really intensely, and threw back my whole practice for like probably a year, because I was trying to force something which wasn't there. So what I now recommend everybody, and my school also recommended me, is try to see what's not you. By doing this, by just being simply aware. Okay, I'm treating this body nicely. I'm taking care of it. I'm eating healthy. I'm taking care of my thoughts, my emotions. I'm just trying to live consciously. But whatever I do, it's not who I really am. Like whatever happens to me, it happens to kind of my possession, like my physical shell. I always try to look at as my body as something that belongs to me, not like what I really am. And maybe you aren't like, for me, it's not like I'm not like enlightened or something. I don't know who I am, what I am and everything. I'm on the path towards it, but I can't give you an answer. And I don't claim to give anybody an answer. But I can give you this tip. Don't try to like go for it directly, but just see your limitations. See what you're not and what you could be. See like the tremendous potential inside of you and see your own ignorance. That's what I'm always trying to do is like, I'm just trying to get that straight, because so many times in the job, the world is going upside down. There's so much input coming from all the sides and life is stressful. Boyfriend, girlfriend, parents, hobbies, everything is coming onto you and makes your life interesting and beautiful. But at the same time, I'm always trying to get this straight, that while I love doing what I'm doing and while I'm doing everything with passion and engagement, I know that's not like who I really am. It's just something to enrich my life because I enjoy the pleasure of it, the physical pleasure, but it's not my life. And what I noticed, just being really straight with myself brings me into a much clearer space where I notice like this difference between, especially when I'm doing yoga, it helps me noticing this difference between my real being and all those random things everywhere around me. So that's the last tip I wanted to give you today. And if you're in the ashram, this naturally happens because everything in the ashram is structured towards bringing that awareness to you. So it happens automatically, you don't have to take care of it. But even when you're at home, doing your hobbies, your social circle, your work life, everything, even at home, you can create the same awareness and benefit the same way. So let's do a quick recap. First, we had the conscious eating, eat with gratitude, be aware where the food is coming from, what a big process it is, and develop that relationship to your food and that appreciation. And you will feel it will become a tremendous process. That's what happened to me and that's what happened to many others. So I hope it happens for you also. Second is just realize how small a speck you are in this tremendous existence, like this tremendously beautiful existence. And look at everything and everybody, also people, is something higher than yourself. And once again, for me it makes my life so beautiful because I'm feeling like everything so intensely. And everything becomes just so much valuable and richer. And all of a sudden, so many people say like the small things in life are the beautiful things in life. And then you really like notice this. You really notice how the small things become everything in life, because that's what life is. It's an amalgamation of small, beautiful things. And the third tip for me, trust in your day-to-day living. Be aware of how there's a difference between everything around you, from your possessions to your social circle, to yourself, to your thoughts, to anything you consider as myself and your real inner being. And even though you may not be able to grasp that difference, just be aware of it. And that's all it takes to bring you into the right direction. And from there on you will see, if you sit for meditation, if you do your yoga practices, all of a sudden like your inner brakes are gone and you can just fly off. And maybe as a conclusion, bringing the ashram into my own life, like bringing yoga, becoming yoga, is probably by far the most beautiful thing that happened to me ever, because it's an incredible feeling. It's indescribable. Just closing your eyes or opening your eyes and really letting your consciousness fly and really feeling your own being so intensely that like tears are coming and your spine, you feel shivering up and down your spine. It's just so beautiful. So everybody should have at least a taste of it. Anyway, this was just like the tip of the iceberg. I feel like I've been in the ashram for almost a year now. It's gonna be more soon, and I learned so many things. I could write a book about it, and like it would be like a bad work or a bad picture of the ashram, I guess. It was an incredible experience. If you have the chance to really give it a shot, let me know. Write me a message, write a comment below the video, WhatsApp, anything. There's so many ways to reach me out, and I'm happy to like assist you on the way on the decision making maybe. For me it was a tremendous benefit, and I hope this video helped you in some ways. I hope you can make use of the tips and take it home to you and start the process. And I hope you liked the video also. Like, I hope the content was interesting for you. So if you liked it, give a thumbs up, leave a small comment below, and send me some feedback if you want anything, any different topic. There's like no topic which is like off, which we can't talk about, whether it's like whatever, sex, drugs, I don't know, whatever you're interested in, because I want to share my own experience with you guys. So let me know what you're interested in, and let's stay in touch. I hope to see you next time, and have a great life.